Find out, how does a local business do business with each of your divisions? And I'm going to let them answer that question, and then I'll open it up for you. And if I need to jump in with another question to move things along, I will. But we want to hear your questions. So, first question, how does a local business do business with each of your divisions? And we'll start at the far end with Wanda.
Oh, want to stand or sit?
Whatever is comfortable. Is she okay to sit? What's comfortable with you? You've got a mic in front of you. You probably need to sit.
Can you
if
see
you stand up, you may not be heard by the mic.
Okay, good morning. Again, thank you all, and it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm glad to see so many of you all here interested in doing business with the City of Memphis. We are very interested in doing business with you as well. The General Services Division is a division that pretty much functions as a support division for pretty much all of the city government initiatives, other divisions, other administrative initiatives as well. And what we are comprised of, there's a property maintenance area of us, which means all the city facilities. The city has over 250 to 300 facilities, even more than that, within the city of Memphis that you are familiar with. We have far more that you're not familiar with. We also have the vehicle maintenance area, which is basically the city's fleet. And units of transportation. We basically help maintain the repair and maintenance of the city's fleet, as well as the facilities. We have real estate, which we basically handle and control easement, right-of-ways, city real property, buy, sell, whole 9 yards. We do that as well. We have City Hall operations, that big, beautiful building at 125 North Main that you're more than welcome to come to anytime. Our division help with that. I'm saying all this to let you know that there are so many areas within the General Services Division that we offer. We need services that you may provide, and there's a conglomerate of areas from, like I said, facility maintenance, vehicle maintenance, real estate, all of those things. So we're asking you to come to us, and one way you come to us is through our RFP, RFQ processes. We need you to get on the city's vendors list. We need you to basically know how the city operates in a sense, and this is what you're here to learn. Basically, we're on a fiscal year account operating cycle, and respond to the request for quotes, respond to requests for proposal, respond to the bidding process, read the bid thoroughly, because there are a number of ways you can be disqualified. And unfortunately, in my division, I'm going to, first of all, my apologies, my director, Antonio Adams, he's the director of General Services. He's also here to help in answering your questions as well. But we deal with over 300-400 contracts. Then those contracts, even though they may be major contracts, from tires to parts, vehicle parts to facility parts, we want you to partner, come together. If you need to respond to a bid, get with a major company to respond to a bid. That we have goals and that are set through our Office of Minority and Women Business Enterprise, that so much percentage do go to small businesses or women-owned businesses or minority-owned businesses. So we encourage you to really take advantage of this opportunity in this setting today, and really take advantage of all of the offices that are available within city government and that are geared towards. The initiative is geared towards in getting your business. However, we have to be objective. We can't pre-select, okay? We have to be fair about it. But what we're finding out with our small businesses is that the education, the knowledge, or the resource of how to obtain the information is not there. So we encourage you, basically through our area, is through the contract bidding process through the City of Memphis government. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Can I jump in and ask a question, because you said something I think that that this audience might need to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And this will answer for everyone. How do you go about getting on the city's bid list?
Oh, thank you for saying that. Appreciate that. The city's bid list, the gentleman that spoke, the last gentleman that gave us direction upstairs, he said his name was Eric Mays. He was with the city's purchasing department. Eric is responsible for ensuring you call his office, the city's purchasing department. They have a process. You can can go online through the cityofmemphis.org and access the links through the city's finance division onto the purchasing division. And our IT director probably can give you more information about how to connect with that as well. But the resources is mainly through the city's purchasing department, and also more is available to help guide you through the process, and also our minority and women business enterprise office is able to help you guide you through that process as well, because they want to make sure that you're listed under the right categories, and once you're listed in that bidding, in the city's bidding system, whenever requests for proposals come up, they will automatically notify you, send you emails or whatever to allow you that a bid is coming through, that a bid is coming through, and you have an opportunity to go through that. Okay? Did that answer that?
Yes. Did that answer for you?
He asked me, did I breathe?
Well, Wanda understands we don't have a lot of time. Okay, Brent, how does one do business with the IT division?
All I should say is really ditto, because she said it all. However, I think the most important thing is, one, is you need to be a certified MWBE. So go through the certification process. And again, the Office of Moore or the Office of Contract Compliance can outline what that process is with you. There are a couple of certifying groups or agencies, but just because you may be certified as an MWBE with the federal government doesn't mean you're certified with the City of Memphis. So unfortunately, we have agencies, businesses that are certified in one category or with one group, but that doesn't mean they're certified with the City of Memphis. So make sure you contact the Office of Contract Compliance or more, and make sure you understand that process. So that's first.
So, Brenda, if you're not certified, you don't have an opportunity at all?
If you're not certified, you can still do business. However, your likelihood of being selected with an RFP or RFQ is lower than someone that is certified. And as Wanda said, we do all business through RFP and RFQ offerings. So it's important that you read those and that you understand them and that you respond to them correctly, because incorrect responses will negate you, will throw you out automatically. And unfortunately, we see that happen. I see that happen with a lot of small businesses, a lot of firms that they don't provide some information, and it's critical, it's a requirement, and so that negates them from that. And the reason why we have to do that is we can't show, as she indicated earlier, we can't show preferential treatment to one business versus another. Because if we do, then we have what we call as a protest, and it kind of negates the whole process at times. But also within the IS division, we are primarily, we have a third party or a prime vendor, SAIC, that runs a lot of operations for us. I oversee all of that operation. And SAIC, we have, in conjunction with the city's purchasing, we also have an internal vendor pool that we open up every 2 years. And again, it's MWBEs that are certified, or businesses that are certified, are able to do that. And it's two pools. It's a pool for professional services, and it's a pool for hardware, goods, etc. So businesses have the opportunity to respond and become part of that pool. So what we'll do a lot of times is for anything that's under usually $50,000, we'll put it to the vendor pool and allow those vendors to respond first. We also work with the purchasing department, and as Wanda said, make sure you go to cityofmemphis.org, doing business with the city, and register through the Oracle e-procurement system. And it'll take you through, and that way you'll get notifications of any bids that are coming out. They'll be emailed to you, those notifications, so make sure they're out there. And also, I recommend anytime I have a vendor that comes and asks me how do I do business, I say first, you need to check the city's website weekly. And right there on the front page, we have RFP, RFQ announcements that are in the center of the page, and you can scroll down and look at those offerings and see which ones you may or may not want to participate in.
Click the links.
Yeah, you can click the link and it'll open up. It'll be a PDF and it'll explain everything that you need to do.
And there's how-to videos on how to read.
And as Robert's saying over here,
I was going to say,
there's
Robert,
how-to
it's your turn
videos.
next.
He's opening that door. So it's
Robert, Kanesh,
oh.
you're next.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, Public Works is obviously a very interesting organization within the city of Memphis. It's kind of very difficult to describe all that we do and all the aspects of functions that we provide. We are primarily a service delivery organization within the city of Memphis, as many of you are aware as residents of the city, what kind of services we provide to you on an ongoing basis. As Brent was saying and as Wanda had said, there are many opportunities for doing business with the city of Memphis and within Public Works. We offer on an annual basis, I could even guess how many contracts we put out for bid every year to gain those services, those support services that we need. Many of them very similar to what Wanda spoke about, but we also have some very unique ones that we do because in some of our operations they're very highly specialized services and specialized materials that we need. So we do encourage vendors to reach out to the city through contract compliance and more, and through our division, to try to gain some experience and understanding what services that we do provide. If you see an opportunity and you want to gain more understanding of those opportunities, when you get into areas like wastewater treatment, when there's, we do so many different types of opportunities there, and there are a lot of opportunities I think for those local businesses that don't get explored. We in our blight fighting operations, we do a lot of contractual agreements in terms of board and secure, what we call it, mowing, grass mowing, and then if you get into the maintenance operations, we have a very interesting opportunities there for anyone who's interested in doing even right-of-way maintenance. So it's a very large opportunity that we offer on an annual basis. It is sometimes very difficult for local groups to try to get into those areas, and we hope that it's not discouraging. That's what this is about. We're trying to encourage.
Why is it difficult?
Well, because in many ways our contracts have to require a certain amount of expertise. In some areas you just can't, you have to have some expertise in order to provide some services. And it's not intentional to preclude anybody from the opportunity, but because of the level of expertise is needed and how specialized these areas are, we have to be able to feel a certain security that whoever we contract with can meet the city's needs. And it's only through that process of going through, Brent said, reading the contractual obligations, reading the bids very closely, and understanding what is required, that you can understand that more clearly. But we do hope to grow that opportunity, and that's our goal. That's the Division of Public Works goal, is to always find the local opportunities first. And one of the unique things we do offer, and John can speak to that as well, we do have what we do professional service agreements as well. And what a professional service agreement is, that we reach out to certain firms who specialize in providing, let's say, engineering services or construction and design services. And we have that opportunity under state regulatory rules to enter into direct agreements with those firms. We negotiate. Those are called negotiated contracts. We do have that opportunity on an ongoing basis as well for those who are in engineering or construction related areas. So that is something so you can talk to the director or myself about. You're welcome to send us an email. We'll make our emails available if you're interested, and we can explain those processes and opportunities as well. But again, those are opportunities that are kind of going on an ongoing basis, year in and year out, because we are basically supplementing our opportunities to do what we do. Because as many of you know, we have limited resources, limited staff, and as some of these projects are so complex, so timely, and so require so much effort, that we have to supplement our operations to make those projects move forward. So whenever there is an opportunity to do that, we do utilize those resources, those opportunities.
Okay, Robert, because we're moving quite quickly, what I'm going to ask is that, since you said that you can be contacted through email, as we go through each of you, will you give your email so that the audience can write that email address down?
Yeah, sure. So it's my name, Robert.Connect, or Connect is a correct pronunciation, but it's Robert.Connect, and that's, you have my name at Memphis, MEMPHIS, T is in Tom, N is in Nancy.gov. So robert.connect@memphistn.gov.
And you're open to accepting their questions through email, is that what you're saying?
Yes, I will do my best to answer anybody's questions about what opportunities in Public Works. You know, if I can't get you an answer, then we have a wonderful staff, and I will make sure to get that to the right person. And, you know, obviously, please, like you said, please, contract compliance is there as well. They can help you as well, so that's a great opportunity. But yeah, please, you have my email address, and I encourage you to contact me if you have questions about opportunities.
Okay, so you all have those. John?
Yes, thank you. Engineering is kind of a unique division within city government. We do have some operational aspects. While Public Works maintains structurally the streets and drainage systems of the city, engineering has what we call a traffic engineering office, and we maintain the signals and the traffic signs and the striping on the streets. Basically, we maintain the operational aspects of the streets. So we've got some 800 traffic signals that we maintain throughout the signal. We've got over 100,000 street signs. You start thinking about all the no parking signs, the street name signs, the stop signs. There's over 100,000 signs in the city that we maintain. We stripe approximately 2,300 miles of roadway on a 3-year cycle. So we have an operational aspect. We have 2 shops that do that work, a traffic signal shop and a signs and marking shop. But we also, as the name implies, we provide professional support to the other divisions. We do a lot of work with Public Works. We also work with Parks, Police. We provide them services where we help guide them through the process of constructing infrastructure for their divisions. So just as an example, we're getting into the budget season now. We work with Public Works on identifying projects that might need to be done, roadway projects, paving projects, those sorts of things. We work with Public Works on that. We work with Parks on identifying if a new community center is needed, or police if a new precinct station is needed. We'll work with them, develop the scope of that work. At that point, through the funding from the other division, we will hire a consultant for professional services to do the design work, to actually produce construction documents. We will let the contract for construction for that project. We will have inspectors working with the contractor to make sure that the city's getting what they're supposed to be getting for the money they're spending. And in the end, we turn the facility over to the division, whatever division that is. If it's a street, we turn it over to Public Works. If it's a community center, we turn it over to Parks. So we work closely with the other divisions providing professional services. Now, we have a small staff. We can't do that all ourselves. We have some project managers that kind of oversee it, but we hire out the design work. Now, Robert touched on it a little bit. There's some differences between purchases and professional services. Purchases, you can actually go out and solicit bids for or request proposals for to have a priced response for that, and you usually go with the lowest bid or lowest or best bid on those projects. The professional services, doctors, lawyers, engineers, those types of services, you do not bid out. That's not a item. You don't go out and bid for a doctor. You don't go out and bid for a lawyer. Same thing with engineers. So you negotiate those contracts, and we usually go through one of a couple of processes. First of all, for professional services, engineering services, the engineering division maintains a list of firms that we work with. We have those names on record. Over the course of time, we do interviews with those groups, and a lot of these are fairly informal. You may not realize you're getting interviewed, but we talk to the various engineering firms. We find out what types of work they've been doing, what their expertise is, and we make selections on projects based on qualifications. So on smaller projects, we can do, as Robert said, make a direct selection. We say we think this project is a good fit for this engineering firm. We know that they have the personnel, we know they have the capacity, we know they have the experience to do this type of work. On large types of projects, let me think of an example. We replaced all the parking meters downtown within the last 18 months or so. That type of project will either solicit a request for proposals and have vendors propose on that. If it's professional services, we'll issue a request for qualifications. And we get caught up in jargon a lot because we're used to working with it, but Robert mentioned the RFP, that's a request for a proposal. RFQ is a request for qualifications. So those notices will be sent out. You can send back in, there'll be instructions with those notices how to respond to them. Now, as far as this session we were talking before the session started, the session may be kind of inappropriately named. We don't offer incentives for this type of work. We do set goals. And we set goals and give preference to those firms and those teams that meet the goals that are set. So that's the way we kind of try to encourage smaller minority or women-owned businesses to get involved and participate in the city processes, is to set goals. So in the proposals or in the request for qualifications, we'll oftentimes say there needs to be a 20% participation goal or a 40% participation goal, and that's to encourage those respondents on the large projects in particular to team with folks. And ultimately what we're trying to do is build capacity within the community. And we say we select based on qualifications, and we ask you what experience you have. If you're a small business just starting out, it's hard to get that experience. So what we encourage folks to do is to team with experienced folks, and that way they can start building up their experience, and hopefully at some point they'll be able to respond to these requests for qualifications or requests for proposals on their own, or as the lead agency with other folks as contractors with them.
Okay. Toya had something. I just wanted to, just one thing for you, Robert. You mentioned the fact that you encouraged teaming. Do you, as a division, do anything to assist or to act as a liaison to encourage that teaming, as opposed to vendors having to go out on their own and team with someone?
I'm sorry, you can try that first. I'll jump in.
No, we don't. And
Okay.
the reason why is because if I assist one small business, then every other small business is going to say, well, why didn't you assist us? They got preferential treatment. So but we do ensure that with all the RFP and RFQ, request for proposal, or in case request for quote, as well as qualification, all of those have attached to them a certified minority women business enterprise list of vendors from the Office of Contract Compliance. So the large companies know which small companies they can reach out to and contact.
Antonio? He's behind the pole, but he had.
I just want to add one particular, and I think which is an important comment. The comment was about setting goals. The goals are set based on the population in which we have that are registered vendors. So if you're not a registered vendor, then when the Office of Contract Compliance meets with the division and attempts to set a goal, then there's a 0% goal. So you have to be in the game. You have to be engaged in order to be selected. And the one way to be selected is to register and then, of course, be certified. We talked about certification. Certification is the preferred method in which the city chooses its minority vendors. So that is the preferred method. Doesn't mean if you're not certified, we will not. But again, certification gets you a greater preference when we are selecting. And to kind of piggyback on what Brent was saying as well, The one thing that we try to discourage and we try to stay away from is preferential treatment. You hear a lot about one particular vendor getting all the bids or one particular vendor getting a lot of business. That's what the divisions stay out of. We stay out of, I am adamant as far as general services, staying out of preferring or pre-selecting or having a preference. So from that perspective, you have two resources. You have the Office of Moore and you have the Office of Contract Compliance with the city that then can help you collaborate. Through those offices, we have been able to form contractual relationships with businesses that we never would have before through their efforts to collaborate with larger companies.
Okay, are there questions out here? Because I don't know when they're going to stop us, and I know we started late. Does anyone have any questions so far? Right here.
Is there a specific dollar amount that you would not throw an RFP for below something that you had a requirement for something that was $2,700? Would you put out an RFP for that or just go to office control?
The divisions have some flexibility in how they can purchase items directly through vendors. That is an ordinance. Basically, it's actually in the charter. It's $5,000 per vendor per item. It's kind of the general, very generic. And it's one time only. Yes, I'd be very clear about that. So we do have some flexibility, but once again, and then there's also what's called purchasing orders, which are anything under $49,999.99. That Mr. Mays, through our purchasing office, can execute directly. Anything above that, the mayor is only a contractual person. So anything above that amount, the mayor has to approve it as the contractual authority with the city of Memphis.